Hello everybody, welcome back to my video. I'm Papa from Gaming Key, and today we're playing some more Bloons Adventure on Tower Defense. So today, we are doing the C4 Charlie guide. So, to be honest, he's a pretty interesting character. He's definitely someone that I struggle to understand and use for quite a while. And need quite a bit of help from you guys, as well as just a little bit of personal testing to really figure out his purpose and the reasons to use him. Because he's a little bit of an interesting character. He has a lot of different quirks and characteristics that don't necessarily become obvious unless you use them the right way. So one thing I will say is having him at higher levels is pretty good, especially since his Moab Assassin ability level 7 is a pretty big deal. So at lower levels, he can definitely still work, especially if most of your characters are at lower level. But if he is your lowest level character by far, he's probably not going to be that useful. Like if he's level 3 or 4 and your other characters are level 6 or 7, he probably won't be quite useful then. But as you get into the higher levels, level 3, 5, 7, they all make big upgrades for him, so it's definitely a good idea to get those up. What was I going to do? Right, so first things first is weapons. So, the one thing I will say is, I don't have the Moab yet. It's one of the very, very few epic weapons I don't have. But honestly, given how it depends a little bit. So this ability, it's super useful. Activated ability destroys all balloons, so obviously, it means the instant win. Not quite, but it's very similar, I believe, to the kind of like Ground Zero or Bomb Blitz abilities in BC6. So it is similar like that. Obviously, I haven't actually tested it out, because once again, unfortunately, it's one of the few epics I don't have. But it is pretty interesting, but we're going to ignore that for now, because if you were to use this with him, you'd probably just want to spam every last ability cooldown and maybe discounts you had. So I'm going to keep this in mind. This is an interesting strategy. If you have the Moab, I'm going to talk about it. You can do Moab Assassin, and then in terms of trinkets, you can go for, once this loads, you can go for Cosmic Gauntlets. I don't think we have it here, but yes, we do. Baby Tooth. There is War Paint Mud. Yes, that also decreases ability cooldowns. Yep. The Ninja Headband. All of these ability cooldowns is probably what you want to go for if you are using the Moab, but we're not going to talk about that today because it's pretty basic. It's just get abilities, spam abilities. We're going to be talking about him more so for offense with Mushroom Bomb. So it's a really powerful attack. It can deal with black balloons, but don't rely on it for DTs. So we do have that. The next thing I'm going to go with is... Okay, so here's one thing I will say. It does not give him black pop power. He does not have black pop power. Do not expect him to deal with DTs. If you have this bomb and some upgrading things, he'll be able to deal with black balloons. He can't be your DT pop power. Just don't rely on that. That's not what he's meant for. But he is really good against CMGs and bad balloons. So with that being said, Engineer's Blueprint, obviously, insane damage. No reason not to. He does need camo detection, so let's give him that range with the Noticon Lasses. Always great. Camo detection is pretty important for him since he doesn't have it. You do want to spam that attack speed because he does actually have, at least if you're going for the strict Moab path, he does actually have some extra damage against them, so attack speed will be a bit more important. Once again, if you're going with the Moab path, the items like Cosmic Gauntlets still very helpful since it gives attack speed and ability cooldown. So we're going to go for Baker Shroud. I'll probably go for Guru Meter, all of your general damage ones. Damage Rings, Demon Hearts, Guru Meter, Baker Shroud, Engineer's Blueprint, Heart Gauntlets, all of the basic damage accessories. You kind of just want to put them all on him and hope for the best, because he can be pretty good with that combo. So last thing we're going to go for is... Let's just quickly go for Plasma Monkey Gobble. That's pretty good. So one thing I will say, he only has one useful quality, sort of, in support. His only support option, which isn't exactly support even, it depends on what you consider to be support, is if we go over here to... No. Commander Cassie. Are you getting tired of me saying no? I was. So Commander Cassie has this one upgrade called Mounted Mauler. Replaces all missiles with powerful Moab Maulers for extra damage against Moab. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. I haven't done a Commander Cassie guide. Honestly, that might be next. because she's another one that like C4 Charlie, they have two very split paths, and those paths are both very, 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 very good, and it's really hard to decide between them. Probably even more with Commander Cassie, but definitely still true with C4 Charlie. Deciding between paths is not an easy task, and it's a little situational as well, because they're both really good. But that's really his only use for support to get the upgrade. It's pretty good if you're going this path, like for the Loontonium tips, you definitely want to use it, otherwise it's obviously not really that worth it, because you can't get it. But if we go back over here, give me a second. You know what? No, I'm just doing this. 2 C4 Charlie. I think this is a similar loan to what you want. You can replace these obviously with what you have. If you have Damage Ring, if you have, what's the coin? It's a coin something. No. Just say swap. If you have, James's Lucky Coin, 5% chance for double damage, that's a damage boost. If you have, do we already have it? No. Damage Ring, that's a damage boost. One thing I actually did loan is here. Striker Jones Cap, +1 damage to every third explosive attack and +1.5 range. If you don't have too many damage items, this can be good if you're much earlier game. Though to be honest, even if you only have to beat normal mode, good luck getting him if you're that early on. Well, that can give 10% attack speed. There's various buffs you can use if you don't have necessarily the quote-unquote better ones or best ones, but still, you want something like this for his damage loadout. So, let's just get into a game, because it's going to be pretty important. Let's pick a random map. It's not really going to matter anyways. Over the throne room. Actually, we might just do the Bloom Beacon map. That might be better. I do hope your day, by the way, quickly, is going pretty well. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I really have to say. Let's go into hard. Okay, we're actually going to do this on extreme, simply because I want to see him against some actual Moabs. That's what he's meant for. So, C4 Charlie, we're going to place him over here. So, in terms of upgrades, most of these are pretty generalistic. The one thing you have to weigh down on, Bouncing Bomb, Moab Mauler, do not upgrade them. Just straight up, don't buy them yet, okay? First things first, longer range, obviously frag bombs, it's just bonus damage. Attack speed's pretty nice, bigger bombs increases the radius, and I believe it increases the pierce as well. Bombs are bigger, louder, and more devastating. Yeah, that's not very helpful. Pretty sure it increases the blast radius as well as the pierce, I'm pretty sure, I'm not positive. Bouncing bombs, you can get it early. Don't do it yet. Trust me. Do not do it yet. It's a mistake. Definitely a mistake. So we're just going to wait on a little while here. We're going to get like attack speeds and basic things like that. The one thing I will actually do is I'm going to drop some Cobras still, because I still do need... Actually, no. Because I don't have Super Monkey Grip, so I don't actually have Monkey Farmer. So we're just going to get some basic upgrades for him. Once again, now you have access to more Mauler. Don't buy it yet. Buy these upgrades first. First of all, because they're just solid upgrades, and also, then you don't have to make a decision yet on which path you're going. It's the big decision with him. When there's path characters like this, it's not like, hey, do you want this ability or this upgrade? No, it's do you want these 3 upgrades or these 3 upgrades? It's a pretty big deal. The one thing I will say, because I've made this mistake before, if you go the Moab Mauler path, well, actually, no, I'm going to wait a sec before we talk about that. Give me, like, a little bit to get a little bit more money, then we'll talk about that. But the one thing I'm going to mention here, he is decent Bloom pop power, so it's a little interesting. He can be very good, but at the same time, even with all these attack speed buffs, he's still fairly slow attacking and a little bit inaccurate. And obviously, he doesn't have black pop power, so the blacks, the zebras, all of those balloons, he doesn't do a very good job at dealing with. So you definitely don't really want to rely on him to solo. Obviously, that's what we're doing right now, but there aren't even black balloons yet. It really won't matter. But you definitely don't want to rely on him to solo because he's not the best at it. With some support, he can be super good. If you want to throw him on strong, that can work well. It's a good combo. Okay, now that we have Bloon Impact, Signal Flare. We're going to have to talk about this more, but first, the one thing I do have to say, if you buy Moab Mauler, do not buy this upgrade. Whatever you do not buy Signal Flare if you've bought in Moab Mauler. Unless you want to sell, don't do it. It's a mistake. It messes with the cross paths. Trust me. So, let's go for Moab Mauler first. So if we go for this path, Moab Assassin. If you buy this, great. Awesome. That's part of the reason you go for this path. The Moab Mauler itself, it's not all that useful. I do like that for the first 2 seconds of his animation, he's throwing a Moab Mauler. I think that's pretty cool. In his hand, he sort of has it. But then it switches to his actual bomb, which is the mushroom bomb. But the reason you want to avoid single players because he can only have one ability. Like all characters in this game, because yes, it's true with all of them. It's annoying, but it's true. If you have one of the abilities, they will always cancel the other abilities. Some upgrades also conflict with abilities, but it's mostly ability versus abilities. Ability versus ability. It's weird to say that word so many times in a row. We'll get Brony stuff. That's a pretty nice one, just a free bonus. Great DPS against normal Bloons. It helps a little against the Moabs. So Moab Assassin, it does, well, you can read the description, targets largest mob for massive damage. Massive is definitely true. I believe it one-shot ZMGs? I think it might one-shot normal ZMGs, like two-shot fortifieds. Like, it's almost perfect amount of damage to one-shot a ZMG. It does insane damage. He's really good for Moab class Bloons if you want to buy him. If you have a lot of money, we probably won't get to show this off now because we don't have very much money, but if you do have a lot of money, and you're really struggling with the bad Bloon, that's like all you're struggling with, I believe, I'm going to double check this, once we purchase this upgrade, we should get the ability automatically, which means what you can do is do a little bit of micro. You can buy and resell. You can just be like, oh, Moab Assassin, sell, buy, Moab Assassin, sell, buy, Moab Assassin, sell, buy, Moab Assassin. Okay, we did deal with Zebra. So yeah, instant ability. It only works on Moab class Bloons, so obviously it's still grayed out. But it's no red bar, you can tell the ability is ready. So as soon as you buy it, you get the ability. So that's actually a really, really good use for him. Is to straight up go, well, you know what? I have some money on hand. I'm going to use him to melt a bad balloon or a fortified bad balloon. It's honestly a really big tip, especially on some of the harder maps where there's not much time. Buying and reselling abilities can be super useful. Also, on Paradigm, we're going to lose, so I'm throwing in a Psy. There we go, Psy. Just do your job. Good. We'll buy Seeking Shurikens for you, too. But this is why it cancels off the ability. But honestly, Moab Assassin, it's a great ability. I'm going to wait. We'll sell back and go for it. Okay, so C4 Charlie, quickly, buy the base upgrades. Don't make a mistake. Bouncing bombs. Yes, that's the path we're going for. If you go bouncing bombs, way better against Moabs. Or not Moabs, normal balloons. If you want normal balloon pop power, this is pretty good. Double bombs. Exploding bombs leave behind a second explosion. So now it's a little confusing, because now what happens is, well, look at this, he's doing way better. Theoretically, he's doing like 6 times the pop power, and even against a single balloon, it's double. Isn't that better than the Moab Mauler? Yes, it is. So, it's weird, okay? Because of how it works, unless you want the ability, Moab Mauler is not worth it. Do not buy Moab Mauler unless you have him level 7, unless you're going for that ability, unless you don't want to get Signal Flare. So many restrictions have to be true for Moab Mauler path to be worth it. Otherwise, you go for the double bombs. He's really good pop power against pretty much anything except like a bad balloon or ZMG. You see here, the Moab's doing great. It's time to talk about Single Flare. Strips all modifiers from all balloons on the screen. Lies. Horrible, horrible, horrific lies. This is a lie. So the first thing that has to be clarified, because this is confusing and Bloons games are not good about it. Bloon versus Moab. Some things will say all Bloons on field. Well, does that affect Moabs? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If they say Moabs, great. Does that affect Bloons? Usually not, but sometimes it does. It's random. This will not work on DTs. Do not have this be your DTD camo because I'm almost positive it does not work. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Someone comment and I'll like your comment and I'll re-comment and I don't know. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm almost positive it does not work on DDTs. However, it will get rid of camo on balloons. I believe it gets rid of shield, ghost, I think fortified, pretty sure fortified. So it does get rid of modifiers, just not on Moab. So we'll see this in a second. Once the so actually, here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, that's a normal Moab. Okay, we're gonna have to wait a second. We'll find some balloons to use it on. I'm actually going to buy him and sell him over here because we want actual balloons to load. Okay, upgrades, purchase, faster. Bloop, bloop. Remove the regrow and remove the camo. So we saw that. It works on regrow and camo. I'm going to quickly test fortified and prove to you that also doesn't work on Moabs. So the ability cooldown is not horrible, by the way. It's not great, but it's not bad. It could be a heck of a lot worse. Okay, there was fortified, but the ability's not up yet. Come on. And too late. Okay, next set of fortified balloons. Regrow, camo, yes, I know. This sucks, because this would actually be a really good time to use the ability. Does not defortify. See? There you go. It does not defortify DTs, or anything. It doesn't defortify, but all other traits it will remove. And once again, it works on balloons. It does not work on DTs. Don't have a BODT pop out. However, this is a really good chance, since this is probably going to be the end here. If we go back to the other path, which one? I need this, right? Yeah, Moab Assassin. Abilities instantly up. One shot of the BFB. You know what I can do now? Bloop, bloop, boop, boom, boom, boom. One shot at Moab. So one shot's a BFB, we're done there. I could probably have gone to the ZMG, but it does one shot a ZMG, I believe, or at the very least comes very, very close. Because, I don't know, sometimes testing you do a little bit of damage still. But yeah, that's sort of C4 Charlie. There isn't really all that much else to him. Moab Assassin ability. The fact that it comes back instantly is broken. If you didn't know Moab, it used to be really strong. I know that for a fact. I know I haven't used it, but it used to be really strong. And they nerfed it. They made it no longer an instant comeback ability. They added a cooldown to it. But you know what they forgot to add a cooldown to? Moab Assassin. Yeah. So it's actually sort of similar to a lot of different abilities from BT6. If the ability comes back instantly, it's really good. The only difference is they now have an ability that does insane damage to bad balloons. It's not a Moab Assassin. It's like a Moab Eliminator level damage, or close. If not better, in fact. And, first of all, it comes back decently fast. Not as fast as an Eliminator, but still. But if you sell it and rebuy it, it instantly comes back, and it's cheap. If you go just for these 4 upgrades, I mean, yeah, the Assassin himself, $4,000. What does he cost? He costs, I believe, $780? Can we see that in your statistics? $600. So he costs $600. $600, $250, $850, $500, $1,350, another $800, $2,150, $6,150. You lose, I believe, 30% on sell value in this game, so you would lose under $2,000. Every time you do this, so for less than $2,000, you get a Moab Assassin. Yes, that's a lot more expensive than a Vengeful Sun God transformation on Super Monkey, who I believe costs like $1,100, something like that, $1,200. But considering the fact that it does insane damage and single target, and you know, you can have you can just keep buying and reselling, it's not an activated ability, it's all at once, it's really good. Double bombs can be insane popping power. Signal flare, I mean, you don't need a level requirement, so early game when you get him, it can be useful. It's not horrible, it's not great, but it can be pretty useful. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys did enjoy this guide. C4 Charlie, once again, one of my favorite characters, or not favorite, that's a lie. One of the more interesting characters. He's not my favorite, but I'm growing to like him more and more. He's fun whenever I use him. I like his character look, honestly. It's a pretty cool design. But that's sort of it. That's most of what there is to him. If you guys have some more information, let me know. Let everyone else know too. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments. But beyond that, have a wonderful day. Please consider giving the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe and join the Purple Elephant Squad. It makes my day super nice, and I really do appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye!